Hello everyone, welcome to today's session of CTMT classes. So this is the syllabus in which we have completed almost the topics, everything. The only topic remaining is related to admixture and concrete mix for different strengths. Okay, so these are the two topics which were remaining. In the last class itself, I was about to complete the syllabus of this chapter, but because of some another thing we had to stop it in between only. So I will complete this chapter today and we will start with the next chapter. In the last class we discussed about the effect of water cement ratio on the strength of concrete. What will happen if the water cement ratio increases or decreases, that we have studied. Okay, so this we completed, and also we had started with the effect of admixture on strength properties of concrete. Okay, so what are admixture? We know four basic ingredients of concrete, that is cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, and water. All right, so these are the four basic ingredients that affects the these are the four ingredients that are required to prepare the concrete. Okay, so when we take these four ingredients in a proper proportion and mix them, then we will get the concrete, right? So but that concrete will be having one particular set of properties. Okay, if we want to modify those properties, uh, then we can vary the proportion of each ingredient. We can vary the amount of cement, we can vary fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, and water, and we can modify the properties of concrete, but these are having some limitations. We cannot modify each and every property according to our requirement by changing the proportion, right? So that's why we require a material by the addition of which we can modify the properties of concrete according to our wish. Okay, suppose if you want to increase or decrease the setting time, or suppose if you want to increase the strength of concrete by keeping the amount of cement same, if you suppose we are working in a area where there is a scarcity of water and we have less amount of water, and still we want to get the same workability of concrete, so in those situations, by adding a material, that is admixture, by the addition of admixture, we can modify the properties of concrete during its fresh state as well as in the hardened state. Okay, we can modify the properties of concrete when it is in a plastic form, when it is in a plastic form, that is in the fresh state, as well as in the hardened state. So what are the properties in fresh state? In the fresh state of concrete, we have setting time, that is initial setting time, final setting time, workability of concrete, segregation in concrete, bleeding in concrete, right? So these are the different properties of concrete. So these properties can be modified based on our requirement with the help of addition of admixture. And the properties in hardened state, we have strength of concrete and durability of concrete. Okay, so these are the different properties of concrete which we can modify based on our requirement. Okay, so this can be done by addition of admixture, and this admixture can be added to the concrete when it is mixing. Okay, so first we will batch all the four ingredients in their proper proportion. So what is the quantity of cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, and water is needed? So in those quantities, we will take those four ingredients. After that, we will take the admixture also in its proper quantity. Okay, so the quantity of admixture we can get to know in the mix design. Okay, it will come in the seventh unit, seventh chapter. In that we will calculate how much amount of each of this ingredient is to be taken to get a particular strength. Okay, so that we will study in the seventh chapter. Okay, so by doing that mixed design, we will get to know how much amount of admixture also to be taken. Okay, so after taking these 5 ingredients, not 4 ingredients, so basically we have 4 ingredients. Now this is one extra ingredient, that is admixture. So this admixture we are adding to get the property of particular concrete according to our requirement. Okay, so now these 5 ingredients will be mixed together and we will prepare the concrete. Okay, we will prepare the concrete. Now what are those requirement, or what are those properties that we can modify, and how it can be modified, that we'll see. Okay, so the reason for the use of admixture are outlined by the following functions as they perform. It increases the workability. Okay, it increases the workability without increasing the water content, or decrease the water content at the same workability. Okay, so with the help of admixture, okay, with the help of admixture, we can increase the workability without increasing the amount of water. Okay, suppose we have the concrete. Okay, for preparing that concrete we have taken 4 ingredients: cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, and water. Okay, we have prepared concrete. So that concrete is having some workability and it is less. That workability is less. We need more workable concrete to work. Okay, if the workability is less, then it will become difficult to work with the concrete, right? So mixing will be difficult, transportation and placing of concrete will become difficult, compaction will become difficult if the workability is less, right? So that's why we want more workability in concrete without increasing the water content. Okay, without increasing the water content, we want to increase the workability without increasing water. So what we can do, we can add one particular type of admixture to that concrete mix, and it will increase the workability of concrete. Okay, so workability of the concrete can be increased without increasing the water content in the concrete. Okay, so here we have increased the workability. Okay, suppose there will be some regions where there is scarcity of water. Okay, where there will be scarcity of water and you need to purchase the water and there is no availability of water in the, it is, suppose it is a desert area, right? So in those conditions, the what availability of water will be very less. So what we have to do in that situation is, by using less amount of water, okay, by using less amount of water, you can get the concrete of same workability. Okay, suppose for example you need 100 liter of water to prepare the concrete. Okay, you need 100 liters of water to prepare the concrete of some workability, but you don't have 100 liters of water, you just have 70 liters of water. Suppose you have 70 or 80 liters of water you have, and you want to get the same workability as that of 100 liters. So what you can do here, take 70 liters of water only, but add one more ingredients, that is admixture, one particular admixture. So that by adding that admixture and using only 70 liters of water, you can get the same workability as that of 100 liters. Understood? So here the work of admixture is that by adding admixture, you can increase the workability of concrete. Okay, or otherwise you can reduce the requirement of water by keeping the workability same. Okay, in both ways the admixture can be used. Okay, next, second one is it retards or accelerates the time of initial setting. Okay, with the help of admixture we can increase the setting time or we can decrease the setting time. Suppose depending on the situation, we may have to require to increase the setting time or decrease the setting time. It depends on the situation. Okay, what are the situation? Suppose you are working in African countries where the temperature is very high. Okay, where the temperature will be very high. Suppose you have 50 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Celsius temperature. So at that time, when you mix the concrete, okay, when you prepare the concrete, so because of high temperature in the surrounding, there will be more heat of hydration. Hydration reactions will increase with the increase in the temperature. So that's why your concrete will become hard in no time. Okay, in very less period of time your concrete will become hard. It means the initial setting time will be very less where the temperature is very high in the surrounding, and you need your concrete to remain in a workable condition or in the plastic condition for longer period of time. So what you have to do, you need your concrete to stay in a plastic condition for around suppose 2 to 3 hours, but because of temperature your concrete is becoming hard in half an hour only. After mixing, within 15 to 20 minutes your concrete is becoming hard, but you need your concrete to stay in workable condition for 2 3 hours. What you have to do, here you can add one particular admixture, one particular type of admixture which will increase the setting time. Okay, it will increase the setting time of concrete. The concrete which was becoming hard in half an hour, it will remain in workable condition for 2 to 3 hours now, because we have added one particular type of admixture. Okay, so that admixture is keeping the concrete in workable condition for long time now. Okay, the another situation may be, suppose you are working in underground, okay, below the earth. In underground you have digged and there your construction is going on. There also you know the temperature will be high. Temperature will be high. So there also your concrete becomes hard in no time. Right? Then one more situation can be like suppose you are preparing a concrete structure which is huge, or you need huge amount of concrete, and a huge amount of concrete preparing at the site will take much more time. So what you will do, usually you will order the concrete from RMC plant, okay, ready mix concrete plant. So there you will order the concrete and they will deliver the concrete to your construction site, right? So suppose when the concrete is being delivered from the RMC plant to the construction site, during the way of journey, okay, if there is a huge traffic and your vehicle may get stuck in the traffic, right? So at that time what your concrete will become hard on the way itself. Suppose you are expecting that your concrete will come in half an hour or 1 hour, but it is taking more time, or otherwise that any situation it may be which will take more time for the delivery. So at that time you will require your concrete to stay in a workable condition until your concrete reaches to the site, right? So what you have to do, you have to add a particular admixture which will keep the concrete in a workable condition still for a longer time. Okay, though somehow when your concrete is being transported on the way, at that time only they will add the admixture during mixing, because it may take more time for the delivery. Somehow they will add the admixture, but still on the way also if it is taking more time, they will add admixture again and they will mix the concrete in the vehicle itself. Okay, you know agitators. In the third chapter we have studied, right? In the transportation of concrete, what are the different methods of transportation, right? So there we have studied. So on the way also you can add the admixture to the concrete, which will keep the concrete in a workable condition for still more time. Okay, so this is about retarding the setting time. Okay, if we are increasing the setting time, it means we are retarding the setting time of concrete. So another is accelerating the setting time. Okay, accelerating the setting time. So accelerating the setting time is nothing but here you are decreasing the setting time. Okay, here you are decreasing the setting time. So what may be the situation where we need to decrease the setting time? Suppose increase the setting time. Okay, where we need to increase the setting time. Suppose we are working in the environment where the temperature is very less. okay, where the temperature is very less. Suppose we are working in Canada. Okay, in Canada in the winter season, you know the temperature will go below 0 degrees Celsius, like minus 20 degrees Celsius, minus 25 degrees Celsius, and sometimes it goes up to minus 30 degrees Celsius also. Okay, so that much less temperature it will be. Okay, below zero. So there, if you put anything outside, it will become ice, right? If suppose your construction is going on in those conditions, okay, if you are doing the concreting at that, in those conditions, so whatever the water you add to the concrete, that concrete will not become hard because of so much less temperature, right? So at that time you need your concrete to become hard in short time. Okay, you need your concrete to become hard in short time. Okay, suppose if you are doing the concrete in underwater construction, okay, if suppose underwater construction is going on, there also you will want your concrete to become hard in less time. Okay, so in that condition, to make the concrete hard in less time, you will add accelerator. Okay, accelerator, it is one type of admixture. When you add that type of admixture to the concrete will become hard in a very less time. Understood? So we can increase the workability, we can reduce the water requirement, we can increase the setting time, and we can decrease the setting time of concrete. Okay, next, third one is to reduce or prevent the shrinkage or create slight expansion. Okay, with the help of admixture, we can reduce the shrinkage or we can prevent the shrinkage. What is shrinkage? Shrinkage we have studied, no? No, shrinkage will come in the next chapter. So shrinkage is nothing but when you put the concrete into its formwork, that is in the final position in the formwork, when you put the concrete inside the formwork. So after that, your concrete, okay, when it is becoming hard, at that time there may be reduction in the volume of concrete. Okay, there may be reduction in the volume of concrete as the concrete is becoming hard. So concrete will start to expel extra amount of water, etc. Okay, and as it is becoming hard, okay, as it is becoming hard, okay, it will congest itself. So at that time there might be reduction in the volume of concrete compared to its plastic condition. So that also we can avoid with the help of admixture. Okay, or we can modify the rate of captivity for bleeding. Okay, so bleeding, you know, bleeding we have studied already. Okay, it is the expel of water from the concrete body. It will create the capillaries in the fresh state of concrete, and the extra amount of water will come to the top surface, right? So that bleeding also we can avoid. We must have that bleeding will affect badly to the concrete, because of this bleeding it will create capillaries in the concrete, right? So that will act as a air void. Okay, that capillaries will act as a air void, and it will reduce the density of concrete. Okay, and it also affects the strength and durability. So that's why we should avoid the bleeding in concrete. Okay, so this modification in the bleeding or reduction in the bleeding can be done with the help of admixture. Okay, next is reduce shrinkage, reduce segregation. Okay, we can reduce the segregation also we have studied, right? Segregation is nothing but separation of ingredients from the uniform concrete. Okay, if your concrete core segregates are settling down at the bottom because of vibration, or suppose your cement paste is going to the top, right? So here the ingredients are getting separated from others, so that is called as segregation. So this also can be avoided with the help of admixture. Okay, next we can increase the pumping ability. Okay, pumping ability of the concrete can be improved with the help of admixture. Suppose if you are pumping the concrete in the transportation of concrete in the third chapter, remember we have discussed transportation of concrete by pumps. Under that heading, we have discussed two types of pumping of concrete. One is line pump and another one is boom pump. In the line pump, we were horizontally transporting the concrete, right? In the boom pump, we were transferring the concrete. We were transporting the concrete with the help of a big vehicle, that is with the help of boom, that used to rotate in 360 degrees, right? So to transport the concrete by pumping, we need more workability and more flowing ability. Okay, so that ability of concrete to flow can be increased with the help of admixture. Okay, so we can increase. Next is increase strength. Okay, we can increase the strength of concrete with the help of admixture. Okay, we suppose with just four ingredients, that is cement, fine aggregate, coarse aggregate and water. With these four ingredients we are getting some strength. So if you add a particular type of admixture, so that admixture can help in increasing the strength. Okay, it will increase the strength of concrete without increasing the cement content. You know, cement is the costliest material among all the other ingredients of concrete. Okay, fine aggregate is cheaper than cement, coarse aggregate is cheaper than cement, then water is cheaper than cement, and admixture is also cheaper than cement. Okay, so without increasing the cement content, we can increase the strength of concrete with the help of admixture. We can increase the compressive strength, we can increase the tensile strength, we can increase the flexural strength. Okay, so with the help of admixture, we can increase the strength of concrete and strength of concrete without increasing the amount of cement. Okay, next, it decreases the permeability of concrete, right? We know permeability is dangerous for the concrete. We have studied permeability, right? In permeability is nothing but the transfer of water through the concrete body. Through the concrete, if there is a transport of concrete, if you put the concrete on the top, if you put the water on the top surface of concrete, if that water is flowing through the body of concrete and it is coming back from the bottom, it means that there are air voids in the concrete and capillaries in the concrete through which your water has gone into the concrete. So this it means your concrete is having permeability. Okay, if concrete is more permeable, it means your concrete is having less density, less strength and less durability. So that's why you should avoid the permeability in concrete. We can reduce the permeability with the help of admixture. Okay, next, improve impact and abrasion resistance. Okay, so we can improve the impact resistance and abrasion resistance. Impact means what? A sudden load. Okay, if there is a sudden load coming on a concrete, okay, if you are hitting with a hammer, okay, or if something big stone or something came and fall on the surface of concrete, it means it is called as impact. Okay, sudden application of load, that is called as impact. Abrasion is nothing but if there is wear and tear. Suppose, for example, if suppose this is your road, concrete road, okay, then here your vehicle is moving. Okay, suppose this is a tire of one vehicle. These are the two tires of the vehicle and it is moving. Okay, it is moving in this direction. So when it is moving at that time, okay, when this wheel will rotate in this direction, right? It will rotate in this direction. So when it is on the surface here, this tire is in contact with this road or in the concrete road. When it is moving on the surface, it will create some pressure. Okay, it will give some abrasion. Okay, it will give some abrasion, right? So that resistance is called as abrasion resistance. So use of admixture can improve resistance to the impact and resistance to the abrasion. Okay, then next, it increases the bond between existing and new concrete. Okay, so if you have already a old construction through which you want to attach your new concrete structure, so at that position where your old concrete structure is coming in contact with new concrete structure, there you can use the admixture, which will increase the bonding between the new and old concrete. Okay, it will give a proper bonding between the new and old concrete. If you don't use the admixture or any other thing, so there will not be proper bonding between the new and old concrete structure. So give a proper bonding between new and existing, that is old concrete structure, you can use the admixture. So these are the different things, these are the different properties of concrete which can be modified with the help of admixtures. Okay, so this is all about admixture. Still the topic of admixture is very vast. Here you have many classifications. Okay, these admixtures can be broadly classified into two types, that is chemical admixtures and mineral admixtures. But that all you don't have in your syllabus, so that's why I have not mentioned in the PPT. But for just for your knowledge purpose, you know that the admixtures can be divided into two types, that is chemical admixture and mineral admixtures. Here, as the name itself indicates, chemical admixtures are admixtures which are present in the form of chemicals. Okay, these are some chemicals. So these chemicals can be added to the concrete to modify its properties. Okay, so these are called as chemical admixtures. And there are some minerals. Okay, there are some minerals. These minerals also can modify the properties of concrete. So those type of minerals are called as mineral admixtures. Okay, then these chemical admixtures and mineral admixtures, these both also have many admixtures in their types. Okay, like chemical admixtures can be plasticizers, super plasticizers, retarders, accelerators, air entraining admixtures. Okay, so these are the different types of chemical admixtures. In the mineral admixtures we have fly ash, GGBS, rice husk ash. Okay, so these are some of the types of mineral admixture. Okay, when we use these admixtures in the concrete, we can modify its properties. Okay, each one of the admixture will do some kind of a change in property. Suppose if we are using plasticizer, okay, if we are using plasticizer is one of the type of chemical admixture. Okay, with the help of plasticizer you can reduce the requirement of water content. Reduce the requirement of water content. Suppose we need 100 liter of water, you can use only 90 or 85 liters of water instead of 100 liters of water, and still you can get the same workability. And super plasticizer is having more impact than the plasticizer. If suppose with plasticizer you can reduce 10 to 15 liters of water, with the super plasticizer you can reduce up to 30 liters of water. That is up to 30% of water requirement can be reduced with the help of super plasticizer. Okay, then we have accelerators. Accelerator is also one of the chemical admixture. Okay, with the help of chemical accelerator we can increase the setting time. As I told you, if you are working in a very cold region where the temperature is very less, right, so at that time you can use accelerator. Okay, you can use the accelerator as one which is one of the admixture which will increase the setting time, which will decrease the setting time. Accelerator will decrease the setting time of concrete. Okay, so one more is retarder is also one of the chemical admixture. So this retarder will increase the setting time. As I told you, if you are working in a very hot region where the temperature is high, you need your concrete to stay in a workable condition for a long time. So at that time you can use the retarder which will increases the setting time. Your concrete will remain in a workable condition for long time. Okay, then we have air entraining agent. This is also one of the chemical admixture. So this is used to increase the workability of concrete. Okay, this air entraining admixture will incorporate millions of air bubbles in the concrete. These air bubbles are not air voids. So these air bubbles are very minute air bubbles. Okay, these are having very less diameter. It will be in microns, 10 raised to minus 6. Okay, so those bubbles will be incorporated into the concrete, and these air bubbles will slide over each other. You can't see these air bubbles. Okay, so these are very minute air bubbles, so it will slide over each other, and there will be increase in the workability of concrete. Okay, then we have as a mineral admixtures, we have fly ash. This fly ash, we get it from the thermal power plants. It is called as fly ash because this is fly ash is ash only. This ash is collected from the top of chimney in the thermal power plants. Okay, because it will fly. It is very this fly ash is very fine in nature. Okay, the each particle of the fly ash is very fine. It is very small in diameter, a very less size particle. So that's why with the little blow of air, it can fly away. That much light in weight. And this fly ash, we get it from the top of chimney. When the gases are going out of the chimney from the top of the in the thermal power plants at the top of the chimney. So there we will keep one precipitator. We will keep one precipitator. So that precipitator will take the fly ash, and it will leave the other gases go out. Okay, that precipitator will collect the fly ash from the top of chimney. Okay, so that is called as fly ash. Okay, and we also have bottom ash. Bottom ash is collected at the bottom. So these bottom ash are coarser in nature, means the particle size of this bottom ash is little higher. It is more in size. So that's why it cannot fly away because of its large particle size, and it will have more weight, right? It will settle at the bottom. That's why it is called as bottom ash. But bottom ash is not a mineral admixture. Okay, only fly ash is a mineral admixture. Only fly ash can be used as mineral admixture. Then others we have like rice husk ash. Okay, husk ash, okay, of the rice. So that also can be used as mineral admixture. Okay, we have GGBS. GGBS is nothing but ground granulated blast furnace slag. Ground granulated blast blast ground GGBS, ground granulated blast furnace slag. So this also can be used as mineral admixture. So these all admixture will modify the properties of concrete, different properties of concrete. So whichever the particular type of concrete that we need to modify, according to that we have to choose the admixture. Okay, so different admixtures will do different works. Okay, all admixtures will do a different change in property, right? So whichever the type of whichever the property that we need to modify based on our situation and our requirement, we need to choose the admixture, particular type of admixture. Is it clear about admixture? Do you people have any kind of a doubt in this? Anybody having any kind of a doubt in admixtures? It is an interesting topic. How many of you have understood this topic, admixture? Please raise your hands. Please raise your hands if you have understood this topic. Others? If you have not understood, you can ask me the question. What you have not understood, I will explain it once again. If anybody is having any kind of a doubt, please ask me. I will clarify your doubt. No one is having any doubt? Okay. So we shall move on to the next topic. Our next topic is concrete mixes for different strength as per IS 456-2000. So what are the different concrete mixes according to Indian standard 456-2000? So this is a code book. So according to this, what are the concrete mixes? Okay, first let us understand the grades of concrete. Okay, what are the different grades of concrete? So grades of concrete are defined by strength and composition of concrete, and the minimum strength the concrete should have following 28 days of the initial construction. The grade of concrete is understood in measurement of MPa, that is megapascal, where M stands for mix. Okay, in the where M stands for mix and MPa denotes the overall strength. Okay, here when we are denoting a concrete grade, okay, when we are denoting a concrete grade, we will denote it with the help of M. Okay, M refers to what? M refers to mix. Okay, and the unit is MPa. So MPa it is nothing but megapascal. So this is the unit. Okay, it is a unit of strength. Okay, and we will denote concrete grade by M, and M is mix. Okay, different mixes, that is M, comes in various mixed proportion of the various ingredients of cement, sand and coarse aggregate. For instance, M20. Okay, M20 comes in the respective ratio of 1:1.5:3. You can see other examples below in the table. Okay, so as I told you, M refers to mix and the unit is MPa, that is megapascal. Okay, if suppose, okay, if suppose the grade is M20, if suppose the grade is M20, so here in M20, M refers to mix. Okay, in M20, M refers to mix, and 20 is the grade of concrete. Okay, M20 means 20 is the grade of concrete. So M20 grade of concrete means mix of 20. What is 20? 20 is the strength of concrete. Okay, it is the strength of concrete. So M20 mix, M20 nothing but M is mix and 20 is the strength of concrete, that is 20 megapascal. MPa, it is the unit is MPa. Okay, so M20 means 20 megapascal strength. Understood? So what is 1:1.5:3? For it is for M20 grade of concrete. So to prepare M20 grade of concrete, so M20 grade of concrete gives a concrete strength of 20 megapascal, right? So to get a strength of 20 megapascal concrete, we need to use M20 grade of concrete, and to prepare M20 grade of concrete, we need the ratio of ingredients as 1:1.5:3. So what is 1:1.5:3? It is the proportion. It is the ratio of ingredients. So what it indicates? We have 1, we have 1.5, we have 3. Okay. So it is in the ratio of 1:1.5:3. So it means first we have 1. So first digit refers to amount of cement. 1 refers to amount of cement. 1.5 refers to amount of fine aggregate. Sand. Fine aggregate is nothing but sand. So next is 3. 3 refers to the amount of coarse aggregate. Okay. So we are having a ratio of 1:1.5:3. It means if we take 1 unit of cement, then we have to take 1.5 units of sand and 3 units of coarse aggregate. Okay. Suppose 1 unit of cement I told. Okay, 1 unit of cement means suppose we are taking 1 kg of cement. Okay, 1 kg of cement we are taking. So how much amount of sand we have to take? We need 1.5 kg of cement. Okay, we need 1.5 kg of cement and 3 kgs of coarse aggregate. Understood? Suppose instead of 1 kg of cement, if we take 5 kgs of cement, how much amount of fine aggregate it will be? It will be 5 into 1.5. Okay, because 1 unit of cement means 1.5 units of fine aggregate. When we are taking 5 kg of cement, so amount of fine aggregate will be 5 into 1.5. You need to take 7.5 kgs of sand. Okay, and coarse aggregate will be 5 into 3, that is 15. Okay, if you are taking 5 kg of cement, you should take 7.5 kg of sand and 15 kg of coarse aggregate. Okay, then this you have to mix and you have to add the required amount of water, then you will get the concrete of M20 grade. Okay, then you will get M20 grade of concrete. Suppose if you are taking 100 kgs of cement, if you are taking 100 kgs of cement, then you need to take 150 kg of fine aggregate and 300 kgs of coarse aggregate. Then you will get M20 grade of concrete. Understood? Is it clear? You can still ask me if you have any kind of a doubt in the concrete mix. Okay, so here you can see on the screen. So this is the last slide of this chapter. Okay, this is the last slide of this chapter. We can complete the syllabus of this chapter. See, here first column is for grades of concrete. It is for grades of concrete. Okay, second is mix ratio. Second is mix ratio. So mix ratio you can see it is written as cement is to sand is to aggregate. Next is compressive strength. It is denoted in MPa. MPa is nothing but megapascal. Instead of MPa, you can write Newton per mm square also. Both are same. If you use Newton per mm square or megapascal, both are same. One more unit is there, that is PSI. This also you can indicate. But we use this units only, megapascal or Newton per mm square. Okay, so these are the different grades of concrete that you can see here. The first grade of concrete is M5. If you want to prepare a concrete of M5 grade, it means you are preparing a concrete which is having a strength of 5 Newton per mm square or 5 megapascal. Okay, so if you want this strength of concrete, so what is the amount of ingredients you need to take? 1 is to 1, 1 is to 5 is to 10. Okay, you should take the ingredients of concrete in the ratio of 1 is to 5 is to 10. It means if you take 1 unit of cement, 5 kg of fine aggregate, 10 kgs of coarse aggregate, or 100 kgs of cement, 500 kg of fine aggregate and 1000 kgs of coarse aggregate. So if you take in this proportion, you will get the concrete having 5 megapascal strength. Suppose if you take M7.5 grade of concrete, so this grade of concrete is having a ratio of 1 is to 4 is to 8. It means 1 unit of cement, 4 units of fine aggregate, 8 units of coarse aggregate. Okay, so this will give a strength of 7.5 megapascal. You can see M5 grade of concrete is having more strength. M5 grade of concrete is having less strength than M7.5. So what does it mean? As the grade increases, the strength increases. Okay, so as the number also indicates the strength, M5 5 Newton per mm square, M7.5 7.5 Newton per mm square or 7.5 megapascal. So as you go on, for M10 1 is to 3 is to 6, M15 1:2:4, M20 1:1.5:3, right? So till here, from M5 to M20, so these are the different grades of concrete for which we can get the concrete strength up to 20 megapascal. Okay, but after M20, there will be standard grades of concrete. There will be standard grades of concrete, that is M25. Okay, after M20 there will be M25. M25 is having a strength of 25 megapascal. For this the ratio is 1:1:2. If you take 1 kg of cement, 1 kg of fine aggregate and 2 kgs of coarse aggregate, so at that time you will get the concrete having 25 megapascal. It is a strong concrete. If you still want more and more strength, if you want the strength more than M25, that is M30. So M30 grade of concrete will have a concrete strength of 30 megapascal. This is also high strength. Okay, high strength means normal range of normal strength of concrete which we usually use in the construction for the residential buildings and all. Okay, so 30 megapascal. So what is the proportion for 30 grade of M30 grade of concrete? We don't have. Right? What we have to do? We have to do the design mix. We have to do a mixed design. So this mixed design will come in the 7th chapter. So there, after doing the mixed design, you will get to know how much amount of cement, fine aggregate and coarse aggregate to be taken. Okay, because as the grade increases, the strength increases. For this it is not easy to generally tell that take this much of cement, take that much of fine aggregate, that much of coarse aggregate and prepare the concrete. So like this you cannot tell for high strengths of concrete. You need to do the mixed design first, so then you will get to know how much amount of each ingredient is to be taken. Okay, so starting from M30 grade of concrete, you have to do the mixed design to get the proportions of ingredients. Okay, like M30, M35, M40 till M45. Okay, from M5 to M20, these are the normal grades of concrete. From M25 to M45, these will come under standard grades of concrete. Okay, these will come under standard grades of concrete. After M45, okay, after M45, starting from M50, okay, from M50 to M70. Okay, so here it will be M50, M55, M60, M65 and M70. So these grades of concrete will come under high strength concrete grades. Okay, so these will come under high strength concrete grades. As you know, the grade is high starting from M50. M50 nothing but 50 megapascal of strength, right? M70 is nothing but 70 megapascal of strength, right? So these are the high strength concrete. For these concretes also we need to do the mixed design to know the proportion of ingredients of concrete, how much amount of cement, how much amount of fine aggregate, coarse aggregate and water to be taken. So the quantities of those ingredients we will get to know after doing the mixed design. But in contradictory, from M5 to M25 we have the ratios. Okay, we have the different ratios that how much amount of ingredients to be taken. But starting from M30, from standard to high strength grade of concrete, we need to do the mixed design to know the amounts of these ingredients. Okay, is it clear? So this completes your 4th chapter. Okay, if you have any kind of a doubt in the 4th chapter, you can ask me. Anybody having any kind of a doubt? our next chapter, that is fifth chapter. It is a very small chapter. Okay, we can finish that chapter in just 1 or 2 hours. Okay, within 1 or 2 hours we can complete the fifth chapter. So it requires around 1 or 2 hours. Okay. Okay, you can ask me if any kind of a doubt is there in the fourth chapter, then we can start with the fifth chapter.